Welcome, friends and enemies, to episode 83 of the Adventures of the Bane Glorious. We've got everybody here. We've got Kathryn.
Hello.
We've got Simon.
Oh, hello.
We've got Ed.
Hi, I didn't see you there.
We've got Adam.
Yo, yo, homos.
And we've got Jess.
He always does that.
I can't follow that.
Heidi High Buys?
Yeah, maybe. It's just sing a bit of NSYNC. Just get in there.
Yeah, that works. That works. Previously on the Adventure of the Bane Glorious, we were dotting around various planes in the search for Farrellin, Lorethel's sister, who had stolen the Sword of Souls from the party in Neverwinter and had gone on a jaunt first to the seat of Juniper's father, then to a realm called Eberron, and then on to Hell from there. You had encountered various denizens of all of these places. Elsie, Adam's character, had murdered Juniper's father. You had then gone to a frozen over blood-coloured lake and encountered a strange armoured creature that chased you and forced you to then take the portal to Hell, which took you to Stygia. You met one of the boatmen who took you to the city, where you met a collector of various arcane items, including the Goblet of the Infinite. And it turned out that Farrellin had been looking for this as well, but had not managed to get it. And then one of your party, Vigo, had it turn up in his bag, and this caused the collector to attack you. You had a difficult time and then managed to kill the collector, but not his Bone Devil companion, because Erallur decided that you would plane shift. The plane shift went awry and you ended up in the Feywild, where there were some interesting interactions with a golden spider and an echo nymph, where Elsie nearly died and Sir Luke was an idiot. And you then came back to Waterdeep a day later and found that a flying city had appeared over the lands further in from the Sword Coast. You decided that you would go and see the Open Lord and tell her of what had occurred in your time on her mission, and were faced with a very, very officious guard who would not let you in and said that the Open Lord was busy. Erallur decided that she would use her new teleport spell and didn't realise that the Castle Waterdeep would have magical defences on it, and you ended up in a magically reinforced room where you were faced with the guard a little bit later, but managed somehow to slip some magic through. No, not her nude teleport spell, Simon. I said new, and you know it.
I definitely heard an extra D.
And Erallur somehow managed to get some magic through, despite the fact that there was a magical barrier around this room, and suggested to the guard that he go and get the Open Lord, which he did. The Open Lord then didn't recognise any of you, including Sir Luke, who she was supposed to have saved from a green dragon. This was greatly confusing. You then managed to get her to go and get the Blackstaff, who vouched for you and got you to be released. On discussing things with the Blackstaff, it was agreed that she take the Goblet of the Infinite and seal it away, and you take the Sword of Souls and seal it away. The Sword of Souls had also seemingly regained at least some of its power, and seemed to hurt whoever was touching it. You then went back to the tavern and met your new hire, Tess, who had been employed in your absence, and then all of you decided that you would go to bed in the tavern, Elsie included, as Vigo and Brenna left after a last drink with you. The night passes without incident, unless you would like to make any incidents. What would you like to do?
So who currently has the sword? Is it in the bed?
You do, I think.
I'm just holding it, am I?
Well, I don't. I think so. I seem to remember that you were holding it last, unless Sir Luke took it again from you. But
did you not? Okay.
No.
Cool.
Yeah, I think Flint's happy just sleeping.
Okay. Schlepping.
Fish schlepping.
Morning comes. You wake in your various rooms. Elsie is very comfortable bed. Very nice. Didn't rock, so not your best night's sleep, because you are more accustomed to the rocking of a hammock. But yeah, you all come well rested. Not terribly hungover either. You had a couple of drinks, but nothing dangerous. What would you like to do with the day?
Do I still have a point of corruption?
No, you will have slept that off now.
Darn.
We will never know what
Yeah.
that meant.
Note it down as a question to ask me later.
That's quite a good idea, actually. I think I will.
What time is it?
Around 8 o'clock in the morning.
And we're quite close to the harbour, aren't we? So
You're directly on
Yeah.
the harbour, yeah.
I don't know what to do. Someone else go.
I mean, I will get up and go and check on the running of the bar.
Okay. How do you check?
Well, I'm just going to go in and see who's working first.
Okay, well, you walk downstairs and you see that Dworkins is on the bar currently, looking a little bit sleepy, a little bit red-eyed, but is sitting on a stool behind the bar, arms crossed. There's nobody in the bar at the moment, and he is just scowling slightly at the lack of people inside, as if he feels like he's a luminous presence and doesn't understand why nobody wants to come and pay the bar patronage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just head over.
Okay.
How's things?
Oh, fine.
Good. Okay. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for everyone.
Okay.
Role play.
That's what Dworkins is like.
It's also like how I interact with people in real life.
So, the rest of you?
Saluk woke up quite early, having not slept very well, on the roof.
Oh, I forgot that you were on the roof.
Went up and perched on the roof to think. And rather than coming back in through a window or balcony or however he got up there, he's flown down to the harbour, to the dock outside, and has been trying to do a bit of spear fishing.
Okay.
Or javelin fishing, just to clear his mind.
Okay, I'll say roll a perception check, first of all.
9.
Okay, the water is a little bit murky and it's a little bit of a chilled morning, so the dock is quite slick with dew. You see a couple of small fish, but they're probably not big enough for spearfishing, in the sense that you'd probably destroy most of them if you tried to stab them. You could try and claw them, but it's up to you.
With exasperation, he cocks my javelin back on the back and, has a look and switches to swoop fishing.
Okay, I will say roll a nature check then. Well, animal handling, probably, actually.
What, for myself?
No, they're a fish. They're
I am a
animals.
bird.
You are handling them.
Is it that literal? Holding an animal?
Isn't animal handling like about whether it's consensual or not?
Yeah.
I mean, you could roll an attack, I suppose, but that's
Roll
more for
the
damage
attack.
than... Sorry,
You
Simon?
could try and persuade the fish to come out.
Come here. Go on. Just reel him in. 22.
You catch 5 fish fairly quickly. They're, again, maybe 15 centimetres long. Not terribly, and quite thin. They look like pretty reasonable fish from what you can tell. Fairly common, but yeah, it's a decent enough catch.
Nice.
Cool.
I sit and clean them off.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just sitting on the dock, working away at them. Yeah, cleaning them, scraping the scales off into one of my little pouches.
Okay, yeah. So you have a pouch of Water Davian scales.
I don't think D&D Beyond has that.
That's weird.
Can you type your own thing in?
You can.
Yeah.
It's not as fun though. It's nice to be able to just pick it from a list.
Cool. Flint, Juniper, what are you up to?
I mean, I'm still reeling over the fact my boat is still in Neverwinter.
Oh, we messed
Same.
up.
So,
I mean, yeah, it's not so much your boat though, Elsie, it's your sister.
Yeah, that too.
Slightly different.
I guess we have a new mission.
I'm gonna start making some inquiries as to how long it will take to get there and all that
Okay,
jazz.
as in, are you looking to go by ship or...
Yeah, I'll see if there are any sailors who are on their way in that direction.
Okay, that's fine. So I will say, roll an investigation check for me, please.
Considering it's a magical world, there aren't that many people. I feel like if I lived in a magical world and I could fly, I would offer out my services. You know?
That's an 18.
An 18, okay. You find a couple of ship captains who look like they might be able to help you. they're fairly rough and ready, but the ones that you find initially aren't leaving for a little while. And
Okay.
obviously you want to be sooner than that. You do find later a gnome who is just loading some crates onto their fairly snub-nosed ship. It is a galleon, but it's smaller proportions than the ones that you've seen out on the way. And as a dwarf, you think, okay, it's more my size, but gnomes are obviously considerably smaller. And as you come over to him, he is just shouting at the dockhands who are loading the stuff on, going, be careful with that. What can I do for you?
Hey, I was wondering if you might be headed in the direction of Neverwinter.
Oh, well, I've been there quite a lot. I could go there if you're charting.
Well, more importantly, I'm paying, so...
That's what charting means, isn't it?
Well, as a sailor, I know that.
You're a kindred spirit. I do so love the sea. Do you, my lad?
Do I love the sea. I love it. So when are you heading off?
Well, it depends how much gold you be offering.
Well, how much to charter this particular ship?
As I say, depends. Are you looking to leave today? Tomorrow? Next 10 day? When?
As soon as
today, then.
Aye, as a fellow sailor, you will understand. I have my ship was I was rather rudely torn from my ship in Neverwinter, and I'm feeling a little bit wee bit naked without it. So
how unfortunate, me lad. I understand that. I once had my ship stolen by some ne'er-do-wells.
well,
Gutted them like fish, I did.
Did you now? Okay, well...
yes, but that's hush, you know.
Okay. Well, how about I pay you gold, and as part of the payment, I don't tell anyone that particular nugget of information.
That seems reasonable, lad. I like the cut of your jib.
My jib is cut.
Well, so...
Is that like a Jewish thing?
I don't think so.
So how much gold then?
Well, we look at it maybe 2, 3, 10 days at sea, and loading up today. 70 gold.
70. There you go. There you are.
Oh, right away. I do like you.
Well, time is of the essence.
I understand. So, is it just yourself you'd be bringing, or is it a crew of your own?
Well, I believe there might be another member of my party who might be interested in retrieving another ship. We haven't had a lot of luck with.
You've got a fleet.
Well, so it seems.
Wonderful. Maybe you could join me in my adventures.
Well,
we'd be an indomitable force.
As far as backdoor pilots go, that sounds like a promising one. Let's.
Privateers.
Right, privateers. Aye, there we go. Well, I'll go and get my buddy and bring her along as well. And
wonderful. Now, will you be providing your own board, or are you wanting to have some of our ship's biscuits?
No. I'll fish. Tell you what, I'll grab some fish along the way while we're.
Wonderful. Keen fisherman and a sailor. It's been a pleasure to meet you. What's your name, my lad?
My name's Flint. What's your name?
My name be Byron, my lad.
Byron, of course it fucking is. Okay, well, I'll see you later, Byron.
That's Captain Byron. Ship, my lad.
And as I'm walking away, I'll just say, everyone thinks they're a fucking pirate. Okay, and just slowly make my way.
How quietly do you say this?
Not too quietly.
Okay. Doesn't seem to hit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go and find Elsie and say, I found us a ship to Neverwinter. Thought you might want your boat back.
You're in my room.
Sorry. Hello.
Go away, I'm sleeping.
All right, fine. Well, we're heading off in a bit, so if you want your boat back.
The door opens just ever so slightly, and she moves her head over and like, sorry, we?
Aye, well, I thought you might want your boat back, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So if you want to join, I pay 140 gold, so I just need you to pay half.
Roll a deception check.
It's almost a natural one. That's 15.
Okay, Elsie, roll an insight.
17.
Ooh.
Flint is bullshitting.
Yeah, of course you did. So, who have you paid?
Some gnomish captain called Captain Byron.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know. But if you want to come with, we'll be heading off today. We can take a wee jaunty down the coast.
I just slammed the door in his face.
Right, we don't have to talk. That's fine. I'll be waiting downstairs, and I make my way down. I'll grab a couple of things, and I'll say goodbye to Juniper on my way out.
Well, where is Juniper? Because she's not...
I mean, currently asleep, I guess.
Yeah, she's not out of her room yet.
I'm like curled up.
I'll just... Hello, Juniper. Hey, it's okay. Hey, look, hey, look at the board. Look at the board. There we go. Hey, there we are. Juniper, I'm gonna be headed off for probably around the 10 day. I'm gonna be going with Elsie, but I'll be back as soon as possible, and I am going to leave Truffle with you. Okay?
It's a very important job. I promise I'll be very responsible.
Oh, I know you'll be very responsible. I know. But
It'll definitely be a 10-day.
well, it might be more, it might be less. I don't want to promise anything, but hopefully it won't be all as long as that.
Okay, because Lorethel said he'd be gone for a little while, and then he didn't come back, but I'm assuming he's happy with his family.
I assume he's
Except
having
his
a
sister.
whale of a time.
Yeah. Except his sister, who went crazy. But that
Well,
happens sometimes.
Every family's got one, it's true. But
It's true.
look, I promise I will come back. It might be a little bit longer. I'll try and avoid any sea monsters on the map, but I promise I'll be back soon, okay?
It's good that they draw it on the map for you.
I know, it's so useful.
Have you ever seen that giant compass?
I just ruffle her ears and then just go, take care, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Have fun, and I'm sure Elsie will love your company.
We'll see. And with that, I head on out.
Well, you walk past Erallur, who's just sitting in the bar.
And don't say anything.
Yeah, he's been in and out, just
Yeah.
like walking past.
Yeah, Erallur's been here this entire time. That.
I'm headed off. Gonna go get my boots.
Right. We left your boat.
We did leave my boat, but
Okay.
I'll be back soon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, have fun.
I will certainly try. It'll be nice to be back out on the open seas again.
Try not to run into anyone that we saw there last time.
I will try. I'll let you know if I see anyone, and I'll pass on your compliments. Well, I'll just awkwardly hold out my hand.
Oh, you want to shake hands? Okay,
Maybe we don't have to, but that we can if you.
that's fine.
Okay, this is fine. This is comfortable and normal.
Just Dworkin's in the background, just cleaning a glass, slightly askance at both of you.
Yeah, I enter the room as they're having this awkward handshake.
Well, I'll see you around, Miss Manager, Lady Manager, Lady Erallur Manager. What are we going with? Are you just Manager? You're Manager Erallur. I'll go.
I'm just going to sit back down again.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Am I still watery?
You are a little bit, but less so than you were before.
Is it that noticeable?
Not if you pulled your sleeves down.
Okay. So I've got my coat, my hat on, because obviously I assume I would have tried to survey myself before I left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I walk over to Erallur after seeing this rather weird exchange. Well, thanks for the room. Do I need to pay anything? So that's
Just
the
like look around thinking this is like a really difficult.
This is like the most
Decision.
challenging character decision you've had to make yet.
The sums are flying past Erallur's head, a weird
Yeah,
diagram
it's like
of a
that
pyramid.
meme.
Yeah.
And I look over at Dawkins.
He just almost imperceptibly nods.
Okay, but I don't know what that means.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. 12.
Yeah, you don't know what that means.
Okay. No.
Well, very much appreciate that. So supposedly Shorty has got us passage back to his boat.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this is goodbye?
I guess so. If you're staying there.
Well, yeah. I need to at least make sure that he doesn't go and do anything stupid.
Appreciate that. Where are you going next?
Well, he's going to Neverwinter, and I guess I'll probably just try and reconnect with Maude up there. I'm assuming she's still there. But yeah, we'll see, I guess.
I mean, I'm putting this sword in a somewhere plain something.
Oh, God, yeah.
Somewhere. Did you, just before I do that, did you need it before?
Well, do we think it still works?
I don't know, but just before I put it somewhere where you won't know where it is, just thought it was worth asking.
Would you be willing to give it to me to be able to give that a go?
Yes. Maybe I could come with you and then I can just whisk it away as soon as we're done.
Well, yeah, I suppose you can travel through dimensions and whatnot. So if you were to come with us, once we've tried to bring Esther back, if that doesn't work, then you can just whisk yourself away as you do, and then that'll be that.
Yeah. Or I could come back on the boat.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that.
Okay.
Like, it's if you can teleport yourself quicker, then why be at sea for however many 10 days when you can just go poof, and then
yeah. Just didn't fancy ending up in hell on my own, but that's a fair point.
That does happen.
Hell, boat, Flint for 2 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah. What? Where's everyone else? Where's Birdie?
I don't know. I have been here all on my own.
Oh, well, I suppose nothing new there, and I tap her on the shoulder.
I mean, we've literally been in a group since we met.
It's also quite difficult for Elsie to tap you on the shoulder because she's quite short.
Yeah, well, I suppose, do you want some alone time, or
what now?
Should we also, what about Juniper? I still kind of feel bad that I killed her dad.
What do you mean? What about her?
Are we just, will she be going her separate way now, or?
Oh, I don't know. I think our default is we all sort of live here, so.
Where's Flint?
I'm just waiting outside.
Oh. Oi! Shortly! I shout as the door open-ish, if it is. If it's not, then I shout at it anyway, hoping it...
You probably hear Flint.
Yeah. Aye? What?
Have you spoken to Juniper?
Aye, I have. Aye, I've told her to keep a hold of Druffle.
Because I think Erallur's going to come with, so that I can at least give it a go of trying to bring Esther back with the sword. Okay, well, I did say I wasn't bringing a crew, but I suppose...
Oh, I'm not crew.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you'll have to take it up with Captain Byron, but I suppose...
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm sure he won't care as long as he gets some form of payment, and Erallur owns a pub, so she can pay.
Fair point, well made.
Have you not paid yet?
No. The deposit was 140 and I paid half, so...
Roll a deception check. Roll an insight check, Erallur.
2.
I'm still not confident, right? Okay, yeah, I rolled a natural 13, so...
Yeah, Flint, utterly lying.
I also look at Erallur and go, he's very good.
Okay, then, and I just pat his shoulder. So, it's just us three?
Well,
I mean, we may as well all go. I mean, if Dawkins and Erallur are happy running the bar.
Aye, happy as ever. No expression.
I just lean down and go, I think they prefer it when I'm not here.
Oh, don't say that. They love having you as a manager.
Yeah, Flint and I kind of look at each other. Well, I look at Flint kind of going like,
I take a quick glance at all of the notices and bits of paper that are stuck to the wall. And I go, no, why would you say that? But I think maybe after all of the plane hopping, and perhaps a holiday is what you need.
A holiday, having been away for a really long time.
In hell,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Neverwinter did seem nice when we were there.
Aye.
Okay, well, I guess should we ask the others if they wanted to come along for the ride?
okay, well, do you guys want to get Juniper? And I'll try and see if I can find Saluk in the sky. Where did you say this boat was? Flint, sorry.
Well, it's still in the docks, so it'll be towards the west of the city as we approach.
And you're sure that the captain's name was Byron?
Aye, Byron.
Right, okay, well, I'll go look for Saluk, but I can then meet you by the ship, I guess.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, so Elsie goes to look for Saluk. Roll a perception check. Saluk, you could do the same if you would like.
Perception is a 21.
Cool.
9.
Saluk is fairly close to the pub, Elsie, happily descaling some fish and putting the scales in a pouch. Very, very focused, and hasn't realised that there is a gaggle of small children that has gathered behind him just to watch. They seemingly haven't seen an Aarakocra before, and they are just fascinated by this individual.
How many children are there?
5 in a semicircle.
I walk up to behind one of the children and go, he is a bit funny looking, isn't he?
Yeah!
Ah!
You made me jump! And then they all run away, terrified.
Oh, you made me jump.
Yeah, quite clearly I was trying to be nice, but it's not really in my nature.
Why are you hanging around with those small humans?
Well, they're not really that small. Like, there's nothing wrong with being small. I wasn't hanging around with them. I came to find you, and here you were, surrounded by small children.
Oh, I had not noticed.
So it looks like we're all going to get on a boat and go to Neverwinter to get back Flint's boat.
Oh, yes. I had forgotten we had left it there. I did like that boat.
So were you planning on going back to your tree, or wait, do you want to come with us?
Well, first of all, I do not live in a tree, and I do not think I ever said so, little distrustful one. But in truth, I do not know. Saluk has been lost in force for several hours now. I had hoped that doing some work would help me clear my mind, but it does not seem to have helped. I am trying to make a decision, you see.
Are you still sat down?
Yeah.
Yeah. I sit down next to you. How do you usually make decisions?
I carry on with my work, and usually, as I am crafting and carving my gems and my shiny things, then looking at something so beautiful makes me see the world a little bit clearer. But I feel I am close, but I feel I cannot make this decision on my own.
Well, would having a couple of 10 days at sea possibly give you the time to think of what you wanted to do next?
Well, that all depends. Are we coming back?
I don't know. Obviously, Flint's going to get his boat. Obviously, I've got to collect Maude wherever she is. I'm not sure about Erallur, and I think Juniper's going to come along as well, but I don't think there is a plan.
But what about the tavern? I thought you were all excited to get back here.
Well, I don't know the tavern. You have to remember, I don't know any of you guys before you met me.
No, that is true. I suppose I have seen it more than you have.
Yeah.
But more to the point, why are we leaving now when there is still that? And he points to the flying city in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
How long did you say we would be at sea?
I assume I would know how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, 2.5, 10 days with a good headwind.
Yeah, we're looking about 2.5, 10 days with a good headwind.
Then to get back as well. That is a long time for things to happen.
It is, but I think Flint seems to be very adamant at going to get his boat. So I don't know. obviously we can ask the question. I suppose it depends. Do we want to get ourselves involved with this floating city? We've already had so much other people junk thrown our way that perhaps it would be nice to do something for us for once.
You make an interesting point. And in truth, I do not care about floating city. I do not care about this city either. I never have. I do not like the places. I only care about the people I am traveling with. And you all seem to like this place, so I thought I'd better try and like it as well. But hey, now that we're all leaving and going on big adventure on sea, I suppose I might as well come with.
Well, that's good to hear.
And you're right. Maybe fresh air and clear skies will give me time to make a decision.
And I'm sure we can find some shiny things for you to play with.
Well, and I hold up a half descaled, recently deceased fish.
The mouth just flops open.
I have already made a good start.
His hands are just covered in fish.
Yeah, you're going to love being at sea.
With you lot, I think it will be quite the adventure.
Well, shall we collect the others and head on out?
Okay. Would we go now?
I think so.
Well, that is fine by me. Fine by me indeed. Let's get away from this place. Here, hold this. I plop the fish in her hand as I stand up and wipe myself down and pop all my pouches and skinning, like descaling knives away. And then grabbing it back. Thank you. And then stroll off towards the bar.
Okay.
Are me and Flint still in the... did you leave?
No, I'm still around. I reckon.
Okay. So after probably as long a silence as that conversation took, I just tap my fingers on the table and go, you know how we got into that fortressy castle?
Oh, I had been meaning to ask you about that.
I was just wondering, maybe I could just take us straight to your boat.
Flint thinks for a moment. All right. Oh, you probably could.
And I mean, you said you didn't spend the whole amount on the boat, the chartering, so you're not particularly low on cash.
Hey, I mean, I might go back and ask for the money back, but I mean, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, it would certainly expedite things somewhat.
Yeah, and then we can come back tomorrow. We can't do it. Something tells me I can maybe just do it once a day.
Oh, it's quite an instinct you've got there.
It's very tiring.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, I can only do it one time a day.
Well,
I think I can use sorcery points to regain a spell slot. But let me just check if I can do that for a level 7.
I think it's of a certain level, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I've done it before, and I don't know how it works. Sorcery points to spell slots.
Also, can you teleport objects like a boat?
Good point. That would be super OP.
Yes.
So there's no point teleporting back.
You can, Kathryn. You just need to spend the same number of points as is dictated by the spell. But I think you can only do it up to level 5.
Okay. Well, as Jess said, I can't teleport the boat back. So
no.
But that's fine. That saves us half a journey.
Right. Well, that would be much appreciated. And I'm sure Elsie is itching to get back to her sister, find out how she's doing.
Yeah. In that case, are we still bringing everyone?
Feel free to ask around. I'm happy to take as many along as possible.
Okay. Did you want to go and speak to Juniper?
Yeah, go on then. I almost open the door to Juniper's room and then remember how object impermanence works. And so I just go, I'm back! And then I open the door. Juniper!
Juniper jumps up. I missed you so much.
Oh, Juniper, I missed you. It's been so long.
The 10 days was really hard. And Truffle kept me company. It was really nice. But it was so long.
Well, I've got an extra special treat for you.
Ooh.
Well, I realised about halfway there that we never finished teaching you how to properly sail. So I'm thinking we can always teleport
Oh, you're thinking. Sorry, I'm not there.
You hear Erallur's voice in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
I wave it away. And we can teleport to Neverwinter and we can sail on the way back. And I am going to be giving my captain's hat to you.
This is the best day ever. I can't believe you left and went all the way to Neverwinter and then came all the way back without your boat just to give me sailing lessons. You're the best. And then Juniper hugs Flint.
Oh.
I just... At first, I questioned the morality of lying to Juniper, and then I just see how happy she is, and I just nod, and I've made the right decision, I feel.
I
It's
mean,
also impossible to avoid.
Yeah.
you've been to hell already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you actually have a captain's hat?
No.
Oh,
But
more lies.
That's the unforgivable.
I think Juniper can understand metaphor, though. She is a bard.
Clearly, I can't because I thought he was talking about an actual hat.
Well, but you know,
I mean,
if
she wouldn't say no to an actual hat. I think
No.
she'd be quite into it, to be honest.
so yeah, I'm gonna still have all my stuff with me because we'll need to have it for the journey back. But yeah.
okay, so you go and meet Erallur downstairs, and then leave the pub. So Elsie and Saluk, were you waiting at the pub and then waiting for them to come out and join you?
I imagine that our two separate conversations would have happened at around a similar time.
Maybe. I think
Through the door.
I think Erallur said that she waited a little bit so that the silence was just awkward enough.
Okay, perhaps we're just about walking through the door.
Yeah, I would. My hope was that we'd be walking back to the pub as they would then walk out.
Fair enough. Okay, that's fine. So you'll
That
meet.
is why you wore a skin from the head first, contrary to what you would believe.
Yes, that is contrary to what I would believe, and I've skinned many a fish. I will say that much.
You do not skin a fish. It is scales.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
So, where is the ship?
In Neverwinter. I'm gonna blip us over there.
Oh, so
What?
what?
I mean, if you'd like, you seem to be getting on like a house on fire, so we can always teleport there.
We'll
and
meet you there.
Yeah, we'll meet you in Neverwinter if you want. You can have a nice long sail together with just the two of you and Captain Byron and.
I think you'd have to pay the full fee though.
Aye.
So we are not all going to Neverwinter on the ship.
No, I just sort of remembered that we didn't need to.
Salute turns to Elsie, and it's difficult to tell with his bird-like features, but the group has never seen him this enraged.
Am I able to tell that?
Roll an insight check. Anybody else who would like to is welcome to as well.
18.
There is almost a slight shift in temperature as you feel the heat of rage almost shaking through Saluk's feathers.
You promised me delightful sailing adventure to help clear my thoughts, Elsie.
I go ever so slightly close to him, take his arm, and I go, I have no idea what's going on. That was the plan when I came to see you.
What has happened to delightful sailing adventure?
Yeah, what has happened to the delightful sailing adventure, guys?
We're going on a delightful teleporting adventure
And then
instead.
sailing
No,
afterwards.
I can't
No,
stand
no,
teleporting.
no,
You can
no.
you can sail home again afterwards.
We'll have delightful sailing adventures on the way back, and we
It's
won't
just
even
half
have to
as
share
long.
the boat. We'll have two boats.
Everything has always gone wrong. Every time we go on teleporting adventure, we
No,
always
that's
end up
plain
somewhere
shit. No. Different.
the
Oh
plane
wait, this one definitely does go wrong.
is
but
unnatural.
it's
the way that-
fine.
Any time that we teleport or shift or whatever you want to call it, when we go from one place to another without moving our feet, it is not natural in the first place, and it is too much. And I have learned how to live with you people. I have studied how to appear like I understand what the fuck is going on when I am here in your horrible city. And now I do not get to go on board. Fine.
You can go on a boat.
Whose hand do I have to hold this time? Just tell me that and let's go.
You can hold my hand.
Thank you, Juniper. That's nice.
What does fuck mean?
I'm glaring at Saluk and just shaking my head.
do I not tell her?
Fuck Juniper is a very special sailor's term.
Yes.
And it's one that I imagine Elsie has recently taught to Saluk, which is why he's trying it out, because he was going to be an honorary sailor. Isn't that right?
Exactly.
Right.
I was telling him words like savvy and think me and all my great sailing terms.
Precisely.
So that he
I was saying it because it means rough sex. Oh, yes.
I pinch his arm ever slightly.
I see. Ahoy.
Yeah, ahoy. Yeah, so that's what you say to people if you're on the deck and they're up in the air. You go ahoy.
Ahoy, you there?
Yeah, there we go. See, you're learning. Great.
So when Flint shows me how to sail, I should use sailor words.
Yes, but not that one.
Not
That's
that word.
for very experienced and older sailors.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know you were so into sailing, Saluk.
I did not either, but I did not know this term. No, you could have taught me this before I came in, Elsie. I've made a fool of myself.
It's okay, buddy. You'll learn. So, are we teleporting? Are we getting the boat?
We're going to teleport there, and then we'll get the boat back.
Okay. Well, if we're going to teleport, can I just have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Cool. And I run in the direction of the boat.
Okay, so Elsie runs off. Flint didn't tell you where the ship that you were chartering was. I think Flint was referring
He said he was
to...
kind of like
Describes the guy.
He said it was the west part of the...
I think that was referring to where his boat was, or am I wrong?
But he told you that what the guy looked like, didn't he?
No, he just said the name.
I
So
mean,
he
Oh,
was a
I thought you
gnome.
said gnome.
Yeah, he said he was a gnome, but...
Okay.
I mean, I was referring to Neverwinter, but luckily it also works for Waterdeep as well, so...
Okay, I'll say, Elsie, roll an investigation check then.
Yeah. Before I run, I look. 15.
Okay. You go by the vague directions Flint gave you, and you spot the feather of a diminutive figure's hat wafting in the breeze. Flint, you see Elsie run off in the exact direction that Captain Byron's boat was.
Will she be coming back?
I don't know.
We'll give it 5
Oh,
minutes.
5 minutes? Okay.
Because I probably should ask before. I do not know if I should be using fuck if it is for old sailors, because I am not old.
Well, maybe just don't use Uck Fey in the presence of the Og Day. The A Fey Og Day.
Didn't know you spoke Elvish.
Actually,
See!
here's the question. Now, so Saluk can understand any spoken language. So would he intrinsically understand Pig Latin?
It's not Pig Latin in Faerun. It's actually Pug Latin, and Juniper already speaks it.
Oh no! Oh, terrible.
You would understand what this means.
I would.
It's, yeah.
I mean, I don't understand what it means.
But in time, you can use the word. But for now, let's not. I just sit down and I beckon Truffle towards me and just allow him to flutter his wings next to me just so I can cool down a little bit.
So, Elsie, you sprint off towards the feather, and I realised that I didn't describe his appearance before. I just said that he was a gnome. You see the right eye has a small eye patch with a jeweled ruby in the centre. The hat is ludicrously large, so much bigger than yours, and the feather plumes so far that it actually curls under his large furred ear on the right-hand side. The coat is lustrous with gold thread and gold buttons. Little bit the worse for wear, though. You can see salt damage over the slightly curled tails, and it is obviously for somebody who is much larger, and the sleeves are very rolled up, and the tails are deliberately curled by the salt to stop them trailing across the floor. There are blue and white striped breeches that go down into slightly dilapidated boots. You can see the sole is peeling away from one of them, and you approach as he seems to be laughing at one of the dockhands who has tripped over one of the boxes and just stacked it across the deck.
You need to start looking after that coat better.
Cheek! Oh, fuck.
Hi, Pa.
Daughter! Fancy seeing you here! What are you doing?
I could ask you the same question. Why is my ship here?
Your ship, is she? Seems to me I remember you and your sis making landlubbers of yourselves.
Well, you know when you're drunk half the time, who's the one that looks...
Half the time! You always were a funny one.
Is everyone else here?
What do you mean, your mum?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Aunt Sylvia.
Oh, don't say that name in front of your mum.
Well,
She'll
yeah.
not forgive you.
Like, is
No,
everyone...
your mom's downstairs. She's sleeping off last night's hangover.
How...
Maude's not here, though. She's not come back. She's not with you.
I look to my feet.
You didn't
I was
lose
hoping-
another one, did you?
I slap him.
I probably deserved that. You
Yeah.
notice that the eye patch has moved slightly off his face, and the rarely seen second eye blinks to adjust to the light. Don't ruin the image.
Well, don't say that I've lost another sister.
Well, where is she?
I'm hoping in Neverwinter.
And what is she doing in Neverwinter when you're here?
I may have left her because she was maimed, and
So you did leave her behind.
she let me go.
Oh,
Don't look at me like that.
Oh, we'll be checking up on that when we go to get her. It just so happens I've had a commission to take a lovely dwarven gentleman to Neverwinter. So,
Yeah.
if you're wanting to head that way, you're welcome to come along with your old mom and pa.
Yeah, but you only charged him 70 gold.
You know me. I was going to rob him halfway there.
Right. That dwarf happens to be part of the group that I've been jet setting across the world with. Well, multiple worlds, should I say.
What's a jet?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
They have them in everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I never mind. It's probably something magic I don't understand. What? But you've got yourself in with a group now.
Temporarily.
And you're saying I can't rob him?
No.
Are you sure you're Elsie?
Okay. Are we going to play
Get
this
through
game,
this.
Well, but I thought I brought my daughter up worse than that.
Well, you did. You dragged me up, but obviously you didn't drag me very far. Look at you.
Again, that's fair, but it still hurts.
Well, it does, but think about the years of pain that I've endured being your daughter.
Yeah, I can understand that.
There's a reason that Uncle George doesn't like you.
Oh, you bring up that bastard in front of me again and I'll cut you nail to nose.
Well, not if I do you first. So, they're coming, I think.
Good, they. Wait, are you the crewmate he said he was going to bring?
It would appear so.
Ha! What a wonderful coincidence that is.
Indeed, almost like someone planned it.
Now who might that? Oh, I've got a headache.
Right. Okay, I just needed to know if Maude was here before they came.
No, I haven't seen her.
Right. I'll be back, I think. And I just
Right.
turn off and run away.
But you said that. Damn girl.
I'm assuming they're where they were.
Yeah, it's been about 5 minutes.
I come running back. So, the gentleman that owes you 70 gold is my father.
Okay.
It would appear that in my absence, my parents have commandeered their ship back from my sister and I, and they're here, but Maude isn't. So it would appear that Maude is still in Neverwinter,
But your ship is here.
but my ship is here. So the ship that Flint went to pay, well, has paid to go on, he's essentially paid my father.
So they went to Neverwinter and got
Well,
the ship.
They will have come to Neverwinter because Maude and I sailed off without them.
Hmm. So they went to where they thought you were.
Yeah, to get the ship back.
Noticed that you weren't on your ship
Mhm.
And then instead of looking for you there, they took your only means of transport away and brought it here.
They will have been paid something, or they would have seen something shiny and will have off they went. That's just a Tuesday, or whatever days of the week there is. Name a favorite day of the week.
It's a jet-setting Tuesday.
It's
Yeah, that's just a second day to them.
That works.
Yeah. As much as I would love to teleport, I don't think Saluk and I can stomach it. And I don't want to try and end up being in hell again.
Teleport doesn't take you to hell that I know of.
That's the part that frightens me, that I know of.
Okay, so Flint, you're the only one that needs to decide.
Tell me, are you particularly itching for a reunion with this delightful sounding father of yours?
He already knows I'm here. He already knows I'm with you, who you've paid. But I didn't say if we were coming back or not, because I wasn't sure.
Right. Look, I'm happy to put it up for a vote. I just want to get back to my boat as quickly as possible.
And I could do with finding my sister.
But you don't want to teleport.
We can, but it feels a little bit like my parents are here. He's already paid them. I'd need to go back and get his money if we weren't. And then I'd then have that awkward conversation with my dad, and Mum would probably chime in, and I can't really be dealing with that right now. Like, they're good enough people if you just don't listen to them.
Well, we're going to have to listen to them for about 2 weeks.
You mean 2 10 days?
2 10 days, eh?
They're still called weeks, though, I think, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm happy to go for a vote. I've gone months at times without seeing them, so me just disappearing is not going to be unheard of.
Right, well,
But I did promise Sir Luke a boat ride.
I think he gets a boat ride either way. It's just whether it's one way.
sounds like a threat.
The one-way boat ride to hell.
No.
Well, fine, fuck it, boat. I vote boat.
Okay.
I also vote for the boat.
It's like, what's he doing?
This is boat. This is teleport.
I am indifferent.
I don't have a third hand for indifferent, Adam.
You
Right,
have to, because otherwise it's an even number of voters, Adam.
Yeah, so I'm going to vote teleport to make it more interesting, even though from a meta point of view, I think it's better if we go on the boat.
Juniper?
I'd like to learn sailing so I can say sailing words.
So I think boat it is.
Okay, you're doing majority of the talking, though. I think if I have to spend much time talking to your father, no offense, I think I might just throw myself off the boat.
Well, I've already slapped him and it's only 10 o'clock.
Do I have permission to do that as well?
You have permission to do whatever you wish to him if it is justified.
All right, fair enough. Lead the way then.
Well, you've already seen it. Come on.
Okay, so you go to the docks, and the rest of you are greeted by this diminutive figure. And one of the other things you notice, apart from the clothing and eye patch, is that they have a ringleted style of hair that falls to just below the shoulders. Looks a bit scruffy and tattered. And as you approach, nods at Elsie and then takes off the hat, which also takes off the ringleted wig, but he doesn't seem to notice, and you just see this very balding head beneath. He goes, "Ha ha! These your compatriots, my daughter."
Pa,
What?
your wig.
Oh, thank you. So,
Yeah. These are my companions.
wonderful. So there's it's rather more than you said, Master Dwarf. Might require a little more. Rubs the fingers together.
Well, I wasn't expecting this to become a family reunion, so family discount?
No, I will be needing more money.
All right. Well, Elsie, you've got this, presumably.
Elsie, have you come into some coin?
Not particularly. No, I don't really have anything. I've not really gained anything.
Experience.
Other than experience, yes. And friends. We'll settle this later.
No.
I slightly turn to Erallur. Do you have something shiny that I can give him just to shut him up for now?
Something shiny. Let me just look in my expansive inventory.
How does one slightly turn towards somebody?
Like when you turn your body, but you don't look at them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have money.
Well, I don't want to just like.
That's shiny.
You have all the money. You're like the group's bank.
Yeah. How much
I
do
have
you?
some of Elios's money that died with me.
Seem to remember.
We have it, but we don't
Hey.
have. You didn't give us your inventory list.
Yeah.
So.
I
We
had
don't-
about 4,000 gold. I know that.
Oh, so we have that somewhere.
Lorifel was loaded.
Yeah. You've got the 70 par. We will sort it out when we get there.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh no. Natural one.
Oh,
You see the eyebrows rise. You seem to have forgotten how we do things aboard my ship, daughter dear.
Yeah, I've been on land too long. Let's get on sea. And I just walk on the boat.
As you try to walk past him, there is a sudden flash as a cutlass is withdrawn and placed just on your chest. I can involve the dock authorities if you wish, but you will need to pay me to get on my ship.
I forget that it's still quite early in the morning, that you've not had that much rum yet.
Just enough to be aware of your antics.
just to clarify, whose boat is this?
Aha! She be mine. Me daughter stole it from me and took it to Neverwinter without me permission. So if I were so justified, I might get the authorities more involved in this situation and have her clapped in irons.
Well, that would be the Skipstone way. Just go all guns blazing in and telling everyone about this and about that and going against your own children.
I?
Ma!
Oh, no, don't you
Ma!
try, don't you try that on me, young lady. You'll, what is it?
It's your favourite daughter.
Which one?
Seriously?
Silence.
Your firstborn.
And then after a few minutes, there's a noise of the door of the boat that goes down to the lower cabins banging open. And you see a rather disheveled gnomish woman, greying hair that still has tinges of blue streaked through it, similar to Elsie's, but it's a much less well done dye job. Makeup that's slightly smeared, and you can see that there's a patch of drool still lingering down one cheek. She appears to be in a nightdress, but with a very similar coat to Elsie's placed over the top of it. And it isn't curled against the floor, but is many sizes too big, so just drags as she shuffles towards you. And there is a slightly arrhythmic nature to her gait, as you hear a strange thunk every other step. And she comes to the gangplank, bottle of something in hand, in dark blue glass. And you see that one of her legs ends in a very distinct peg leg. You! Come back, have you? Listen, there's three of you. Again.
No.
You all look the same.
I turn to Dad.
I told you not to call her. You be quiet, you scurvy dog.
When was the last time that she wasn't drunk?
Let's see. What year is it?
I turn back to my mother. Ma, can you tell Dad to let my friends on the ship?
Roll a persuasion check.
She's drunk!
That's why the DC will be lower.
15.
Let them on the ship. But they haven't. Let them on the ship. The cutlass lowers. Get on board before I decide to gut you.
He seriously means that. Get on as quick as you can.
Yeah. And then Elsie's mother just stalks off back to the lower cabins without another word.
I turn to Saluk and whisper, I could have paid, but that was much more entertaining.
I'm feeling more relaxed already.
Fun ship adventures, right, buddy? And I just pat him on the
You
back
can
as I walk
always
past.
teleport away any time.
Okay, so do you board the ship?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're going up the gangplank, you all see that carved rudimentarily into the side of the ship is the ship's name, and it is the First Cut.
Is the deepest.
Oh my god, it's a submarine.
So you go on board, and Erallur and Saluk, you find that this is a little bit oddly proportioned to people of your size. Saluk, you're not terribly tall, but it's not quite right, particularly for your wings. You see the door and you think, not sure about that. And Erallur, you are very much like, not sure about any of this.
Is there a crow's nest?
There is a crow's nest, yes. It's a double-masted ship. So the crow's nest is on the main mast towards the middle.
Does it look currently occupied?
Roll a perception check.
12.
Not to your eye, no.
That means nothing. Okay, I turn to Erallur and shrug. This is a full turn, not a slight turn, and I shrug. And then lift off up to the crow's nest and see if I can find just a comfy place to sit for the time being, looking out over the ocean.
There's nobody in the crow's nest, but again, it looks like it might be a little bit cramped. If you tried to sit in it, you could perhaps perch on the edge and sit with your legs dangling across if you preferred.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah. It's a rather nice view. Again, not as high as some of the other masts of the other ships in the docks, but reasonable. And you can just see in the distance the haze of the floating city. What are the rest of you up to?
Is the door actually too small for me?
You'd maybe have to lean down.
Do I get the impression that the whole inside would be actually just too small?
Roll a perception check.
No. 7.
You're not really sure. You'd probably have to go in and investigate.
I will go in and investigate.
Okay, so you duck your head below the low door jamb and see that the corridors are a little bit tight. You can just fit your shoulders through.
Like my actual worst nightmare.
You are having to stoop slightly. And then you go and find that there are some stairs. Some seem to lead to what looks like a captain's cabin. Just the doors look a little bit grander. And then there are some stairs that lead further down. Do you go further down or towards the captain's cabin?
Further down?
Okay. You actually find that at this point, the ceiling does open up a little bit more so that you can stand at your full height. Because this is the cargo hold and they need more space so they can fit in more cargo. You walk past and you see a number of symbols that you recognize on some of the crates. It looks like marks of the Harpers, the Lord's Alliance. There's a few that you think, it's a little bit strange that all these are in the same hold. And eventually you walk and you come to another door that, again, a little bit small, but you could probably fit through it without having to duck too much.
I will do that.
Okay. You come into a chamber where there are a number of hammocks. There's a couple of rolls of blankets on the floor, so it looks like there is the option to sleep in a hammock or sleep on a cushioned blanket bed. They look like they are of various sizes, which suggests that they've maybe shipped people before in the sense of had guests on board. So it looks like whilst getting up out of the deck might be a little bit uncomfortable, this is reasonably well appointed, although the hammocks and blankets themselves are a little worse for wear.
It's a good thing none of us are like orcs.
Yeah, it would be a real problem for a true blood orc to get through this ship.
Yeah. Okay. Does it look like any of these things are being currently not currently slept in, but like
No, doesn't look like it.
taken? Okay, so I'll just commandeer a hammock and make myself comfortable.
Okay, I will say, because you're not terribly familiar with hammocks, roll a dexterity check.
Like me in real life. Also not very dexterous. Natural 20.
Yeah.
So you look at it and it's just swinging ever so slightly with the ebb of the ship. And you think, if I get on now, and you manage to jump on and it swings a little bit, but you manage to work out the force of it perfectly, that it just comes to settle. It's actually fairly comfortable.
I hammocked good.
You did hammock good.
Cool.
Okay. So anybody else doing anything or just waiting to set sail?
I think I'll just make myself busy at the stern of the ship and just sit, and that is probably where I'm going to be spending most of my time.
Okay, fair enough.
On the poop deck.
On the poop deck.
On the poop deck. Poop. How many crew does it look like that we have currently?
Doesn't look like there's any crew. You haven't seen anybody, and all the dock hands are wearing Waterdavian insignia, which suggests that they are just helping load cargo.
I go over to the side rail. Pa,
Daughter?
where's the crew?
Well, you know how when you stole my ship and all the crew came with you and basically mutinied against me?
What did you do to them?
I may have slipped something into their drinks. That may have meant that they just slept a little bit longer than they should have done and stole the ship back and then sailed it, sort of.
Just yourself and Mum?
Well, your mom helped. Aye.
Right, yeah, because she's able to help in her condition.
You know how good she is at steering even when she's utterly trousered.
But she's not even wearing trousers.
You don't have to be wearing trousers to be trousered. Did I teach you nothing?
So you just left them all in Neverwinter?
Aye. Oh, do you think that's going to be a problem if we turn up in Neverwinter?
No, because we can just get them back.
Not with what I slipped them.
What the hell did you slip them?
Oh, I just gave them diarrhea for days.
Oh God. Flint,
Aye,
we don't have a crew.
Erallur.
She can't hear you.
I'm very
She's below
far away.
decks.
I just poke my head around the corner where Elsie is and just, are you sure it's not too late? We can still reconsider that teleport spell.
I find it even more distressing that they're here on their own.
Right, fine, I can teach everyone the ropes.
You.
Well, it's my ship. If anyone's teaching anyone anything, it should be me. I'm captain.
Elsie, you captain now?
Now hang on.
Look, I'm really surprised you even got it here with just the two of you. Let us help.
I'm captain, though.
Yes, that's fine. Exactly how you want it. And I turn around and say to Flint, only in name.
Fair enough.
Get him a hat.
He already has a hat.
Right. But not the metaphorical one.
Did he hear me?
You're not sure.
Right, well, I guess we best be going. Juniper, you're going to be all good for helping, sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna learn how to be a proper sailor.
Good, and we'll get you learning those words too, but not that word yet, because you're not sailor enough to say that word just yet.
I'm not sailor enough to say ahoy.
No, you can say ahoy. Ahoy's fine.
Okay.
Just not the other one.
Savvy. I mean, sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that one.
No. Savvy's ahoy and savvy. I think if you stick with those two for now, and then we can then teach you some more as we go. A word a day. How does that sound?
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Okay, so Captain Byron comes up the plank. The last of the crates are loaded on board, and then comes over to you, Juniper, and says, "What word are you not supposed to say?"
Don't say it, Pa.
What?
Come over here.
All right. And he waddles over.
Just leave Juniper be.
Oh, but she's very interesting. She seems very nice.
She is, but you're the kind of wrong influence. And I say this in the nicest possible way.
I think that's the most sincere compliment you've ever paid me. Shall we get going?
Yes.
Right. To the wheel! And he literally hops and runs up to the steering wheel. Elsie, if you would let down the sails.
Sure thing.
Right. So, Master Flint, was it?
Aye,
Any good with oars?
aye.
Get to it then.
I reluctantly go and I start rowing.
Okay. The oars are not as heavy as you're used to. They are set for gnomish individuals. So actually, while still hard work, it's easier work than previously for you in your experience. And you manage to row the ship fairly deftly out of the harbour. And then there's a call of, that'll do. We're catching the wind now.
Good, Captain.
Okay, so you set off of the Sword Coast. Is there anything you'd like to do along the way?
I suppose I should probably go and talk to my mother.
Okay. So she is in the captain's quarters as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Whenabouts do you do this?
I'd probably say a good some point in the afternoon. Like, we're well on the way, been helping do what needs to be done and whatnot. I assume that probably not long after we set off, I will have gone and filled Erallur in on the situation of that there was no crew, and that if she could help out where she could, that would be helpful. So yeah, I can make my way down and follow the scent until I find my mother.
Okay, so as I say, she's in the captain's quarters. Do you knock before you go in, or?
Yeah.
Okay. When you knock, there is the sound of glass shattering, and then just a moment. Few heartbeats pass, slowly turn into minutes, and then eventually, maybe 5-10 minutes later, the door swings open, and you see a rather different version of your mother. The hair has been piled up in a slightly lopsided bun. The drool has disappeared and new makeup has been put on, and it's very much the white powdered 17th century Earth sort of look, including the beauty spot just on the right cheekbone. She's changed out of the nightdress into leather armor, but unfortunately some of the laces and buttons are done up slightly misaligned, so it doesn't quite work, but actually is almost fashionable in its sense of dishevelment. And then she looks at you with slightly more focus than before and says, "Well, you're back then."
Yes, it would appear that you found me.
"We found the ship."
You didn't find Maude, though, did you?
"No. Led us on a merry chase, you have."
We did indeed. This may seem a strange question, but where's Esther?
She's not with you."
Why do I even bother?
"I ask that question every day. I just asked it again."
You did. So did you come from home here, or to get the ship, or
The ship is our home.
it? Well, obviously, when I took it, God, this is very confusing.
You mean Luskin?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we came from there. Very good party. Shame to leave.
Well, I'm sorry to drag you away. What were you doing in, what's it called? Not Neverwinter. Where have we just been?
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep, that's the word. Why are you in Waterdeep?
I'm your father. Looking for enterprise. Found some work. I think he might be a pirate.
Yes, he might be. We may need to talk to him about that.
I think I'm a pirate too.
Well, have you looked at yourself in a looking glass recently?
Do I look like I'm looking at myself in a looky-loo?
Well, you look better than you did this morning.
Thank you. You don't.
It's been a long however many days it's been.
When is it ever not?
I'm going to ask again. Where's Esther?
She died, Elsie.
Yes, I know that.
I don't know where people go when they die.
I don't even know why I bother.
I ask the question every day. I just asked it again.
Knowing that we're just going to go in circles, I look at my mother and go, are you going to come and help, or are you staying down here?
I'll stay.
Right. Well, don't do anything that I wouldn't do.
Oh, that leaves me a lot of scope.
And I make my way back upstairs.
Sleep well, Esther.
I pause for a moment and then make my way back upstairs.
Okay. Rest of you doing anything?
Sit in my hammock.
No, just rowing.
Well, you don't need to row anymore. You've caught the wind now.
Oh, yes, of
Yeah.
course. In that case,
Nobody's told you to stop.
I'm just like,
Byron definitely told you to stop.
Yeah.
Can you just remind me out of game, were Elsie and Maude part of a triplet, or is it three sisters?
No, just three sisters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Elsie's oldest, Maude next, Esther last.
Okay.
Esther's the youngest. And also the deadest.
Well, you don't know what's happened to Maude.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so you sail on for a number of days. Is there anything else you'd like to do along the way?
I suppose I will probably try to enjoy being at sea with people that don't know how to be at sea, and I'll probably try and revel in the fact of actually trying to see if we can teach Juniper how to sail.
Okay. Flint, do you help with that at all?
yeah, no, I'll assist as and where I'm needed, but obviously having enough etiquette about me to know this isn't my ship, so not to tread on toes.
Okay, I'll say Elsie, roll an intelligence check with advantage then, because Flint's helping.
15.
Okay. Juniper, you remember when Flint tried to teach you about sailing things, and you learned a couple of bits, but it didn't go so well, because Flint, whilst a very loving person, particularly to you, not the longest of tempers. This time, Elsie is a little bit better, and Flint takes the guidance from her. So you learn a few knots. They get to the point where they allow you to brace the sails a couple of times and put the anchor down when it's time at night. And eventually it gets to the point where you are allowed to say port, starboard, and savvy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think I've written, Juniper's written down all the sailing words you can say.
I suppose actually, rather than port, because you're out of port, it would be larboard rather than port.
Yes. Sailing words. Yes.
Sailing words.
So, anything else you want to accomplish along the way?
Are you just staying in the crow's nest, Zaluk?
No, so Saluk, he stays out on deck for the majority of it, flies ropes up to where they're needed when asked, but doesn't feel qualified to interfere in the running of things other than when directly instructed. For the most part, engages in light conversation, but is mainly just enjoying the fresh air and seemingly quite lost in thought.
Okay. So there's a couple of times where you end up in conversation with Byron, and on one occasion he comes over to you and goes, "Now, where might you be from, my feathered fellow?"
Somewhere far away from wherever you have been, I can promise you.
"Oh, I've been to a lot of places, not spent all my time at sea. I've lived quite a few years."
I am from a small place in the mountains.
"Which mountains? There's quite a few of those."
Well, our name for them is probably different to yours. They are on the border of the high forest.
"Oh yes, I've never been there."
No.
"You were right." "So have you ever heard of an LXXXIII pirate, Captain?
No.
Goes by the name of the Widow Feather."
Has he?
Roll a history check.
Father? Everybody's dad is pirates now.
It's pirates all the way down.
Natural 20.
You have heard vaguely of somebody by that name in the cautionary tales of your people. You're not sure that they were a pirate. They seemed to be a horror folk figure. This pirate angle is new to you.
I have heard that name, but I do not think such a being ever actually existed.
Oh, she does. She does. One of the foremost pirates of Luskan, that one.
Right. Well, I'm sure you know what you're talking about, but have been passed down in my tribe for a very long time, and I have never heard anything about pirates in them.
Oh, well, maybe it's one of those things that the title is passed down, and it's just a different LXXXIII every time, and they do slightly different things. Maybe this one's a pirate, but the one before might have been a notorious thief or something else.
Now, you see, that is a common misunderstanding. We do not steal, you see, because...
Oh, no, I wasn't suggesting that all of you do anything of the sort. It was just, one of those stories where there's a particular member of a particular ancestry who decides that they will take on a moniker, so to speak, of black sheep or blackbird.
Black sheep is fine.
Yes, but that's I wanted to know whether you'd heard of her and whether you might want, if you were enjoying yourself, to join me crew and maybe we could arrange for a meeting, or I could put in a good word for you, or you could put in a good word for me. I don't know.
No.
Oh, you're quite abrupt, if you don't mind my saying.
Am I do not mean to be. I am still learning your ways, you see. It is why I was saying we do not steal. We do not have ownership where I come from. So it's a misunderstanding, and I'm sure any claims of piracy are overblown.
Well, maybe she's a privateer like me, not a pirate. When you say you're still learning our ways, does that mean you've not really experienced much in the way of alcohol at all?
I do not know if I should be talking to you about this without anybody else around.
Why is that? Do you not trust me? You've come on my ship. I've led us safely so far, have I not?
Well, yes, but with a lot of help from us.
That's true, but 2 gnomes can't run a full-blown galleon. Elsie volunteered you, and you've been very helpful, but I was just wondering if you wanted an evening nip, that was all.
Well, I cannot see why not.
Wonderful, wonderful. Here, I've got a bottle ready for you. And it's the same dark blue glass as you saw Elsie's mother drinking from. Different bottle, but...
I always imagine that Saluk has a poor sense of smell. What does it smell like?
Roll a perception check.
17.
The strongest smell you get is not unlike vinegar.
Mhm.
It's kind of overpowering.
Are either Flint or Elsie in sight?
Roll a perception check.
21.
You can see that Elsie is actually currently at the helm,
Mhm.
and Flint is sitting nearby on the stern with Juniper pointing at various bits of the ship.
I look back at Elsie's dad with a bit of like a kind of a moment, and then zip over to Flint and hold out the bottle. I do not know if the captain is trying to poison me. Can you smell this? I only ask because I know you are a drunk, and I thought that you would have a good idea.
You, as ever, remain an excellent judge of character.
Thank
Master
you.
Saluk.
I'm trying.
Okay, I will smell the bottle.
Okay, roll a perception check.
8.
It's very strong alcohol.
He's definitely trying to poison you. I would say maybe allow me to try a little bit first. Maybe ascertain its qualities, and then I'll pass it back to you.
Okay, well, after you.
Okay, I'll drink around half the bottle.
Okay, roll a
I'll
constitution saving throw.
I'm assuming I would know what's in the bottle.
Yeah.
That's 14.
Okay.
Wait, no, 15. Sorry.
You are drunk.
Excellent.
Very drunk. To the sense that the boat is rocking the other way to the way it was before. And then there's a point where it almost feels like it's rocking actually backwards and forwards as opposed to side. And then you're on your back somehow. You don't remember falling down.
I remember this, I remember this. And I will go down to the poop deck again.
Okay. Yeah, Elsie, you recognize this alcohol as something called Blue Wave.
Mhm.
It is so called because it knocks sailors down.
Enjoying yourself there, Flint?
Yes, I am. I am indeed. Would you like some as well? Ha!
I do take the bottle and I take a shot of it.
Okay. Roll a constitution saving throw.
21.
Yeah, you've drunk some of this stuff before. It's warming, but
yeah.
You'd have to drink more to be done.
That was my hope. My hope was just to... I then turned to Saluk and go, it'll definitely warm you, but I would only take a bit, and hold the bottle out to it.
If it hasn't killed Flint, we'll be okay. And then I take it and I drain the remaining contents.
Okay, roll the constitution saving throw. As you do that, you see Byron go, hang on! I said, what? Wait, you're drinking too... God damn it!
12.
So, Luke, you're immune to poisons, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we count alcohol as a poison?
Yes, so.
I suppose it's a type of poison, yeah.
Yeah, so Luke, you're absolutely fine. It's a little bit smoky and it hurts as it goes down, but Flint seems to be a lightweight.
Does that mean if you're immune to poison, you literally don't feel the effects of alcohol?
Yeah. Because your body purges it, basically. It's like Captain America. He can't get drunk.
Well, what does it taste like?
Smoky vinegar. There's a little bit of a hint of apple.
It tastes like something I would boil something unpleasant in. But I suppose if you're stuck on a boat and you don't have wings to fly and get something else, then it's a good last resort.
Why did you drink all of it?
Well,
that was my last bottle.
Oh, well, it's just it wasn't very. It's not got much of a It's like water.
What?
I do look at Saluk in slight disbelief and go, wait, is this a birdie thing or a monkey thing?
He's not a monkey.
Shut up, Dad.
Is he? Are you part monkey as well?
No,
What does she mean?
I actually don't know. What do you mean?
I was meaning that, obviously, I can tell that you drank it and that it's taken no effect to you. So it was me trying to figure out, is that because you're a bird or is that because you're a monk?
And so she said monkey.
Oh, right.
A birdie thing or
And
a
I-
monkey thing?
And I decided to deliberately misunderstand it. You see, we're
I see.
explaining the joke.
I
because
get
that
the
makes
joke.
it funnier.
Ah. Now you see that it's funny because Adam gave a setup
Yeah,
and then you delivered the punchline.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know,
it's almost like we're improvising.
brilliant. You should take that and see how far you can get with it. It might catch on. It's a bird thing, I suppose.
Right. Lucky bastard.
I hand the bottle back to Elsie's dad. Ahoy, hello there. And then walk off and stand near the bow to just enjoy the taste and look over the sea waves.
I'm not sure I like him.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him any more of your alcohol, Dad.
Yeah, I was more hoping for what it did to Flint.
Yeah, like,
Although I suppose I got that out of it, so that's a bonus.
I'm surprised that it's hit him as much as it has.
Well, he's clearly not as much of a sailor as he says he is.
Well, he's a dwarf, so
Aye, not known for their sailing prowess, are they?
they like their rocks. Especially this one. He really likes rocks.
Fucking love rocks.
Oh, okay.
Anything else you like there, Flint?
No, let's not pry. It's enough to know that he's a geosexual. I don't need to know anything else.
I'm a little partial to those little coconut fruity cocktails. I quite like those.
Sorry,
With-
what?
With the crushed ice and the cocktails and I like those. Those are quite nice. What are we talking about? You got food on here.
Yeah, Pa, do you want to go get us a biscuit?
Oh, biscuit would be nice. Another good ship's biscuit in the way.
Yeah. I think Flint could do with a couple.
I'm gonna throw it
Oh, do it over the side. Oh.
right in the poop deck.
Okay, and he just, fine, I'll get some biscuits and the brush. And waddles off.
Brush for vomit.
We're not role playing the noises this time.
No, we are not.
I turn back to Juniper and go, if my dad ever offers you a bottle of something, you say, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Good.
Having seen, I keep calling him Elsie's dad because I've forgotten his name.
Byron.
Having seen Byron disappear below decks, I head back over. Elsie, your dad mentioned something about an Erallur pirate. Is this anything you have ever heard of?
Oh, what, the blackbird one?
Well, yes. What was the name again, Michael?
Widow Feather.
Yes, Widow Feather.
What do I know of Widow Feather?
Roll a history check.
Let me think.
15.
Bits and pieces, mainly stories that your dad has told you. You think that he actually pointed her out once when you were in Luskan, but you weren't sure whether he was bullshitting you or not. There was a dark feathered individual that, now you think of it, could be the same species as Saluk, but wasn't black. It was more a dark brown and had almost owlish features as opposed to his falcon.
I've heard the name before, and to be honest, I always thought that it was just, you've met my dad, like just stories that he would tell to make himself look more interesting. He did point out what I can now probably believe was possibly someone like you when back in my youth, but I'd probably say more looked like an owl more than anything.
I am surprised it is anything like a real person at all. I was telling Byron, it is a cautionary tale. And even if it were real, it must have happened years ago.
But then what's the lifespan of your people?
30? About 30 or
I
something.
don't know, man. It's your responsibility to know what you're...
It's 100% 30. Let me see. Definitely very short.
That's
Oh,
quite
okay.
sad, actually.
That means if I was an Aarakocra, I'd be dead.
Well, I'll put it in context. We reach adulthood at age 3.
How old are you?
12. But you don't know that yet. You're not allowed to know that.
That's so cute.
So Aarakocra don't actually last very long.
Yeah, no, we don't usually live longer than 30.
Oh wow.
So I'm
They're
I'm coming up on middle-aged.
Yeah, they're like hummingbirds. They don't live terribly long.
Yeah.
What's
I'm a
that insect that, like,
Mayfly.
yeah, it's just a day.
God, that would be the best character.
Mayfly.
I've accomplished everything I needed to in a day. Ugh.
Oh, it'd be great though if
You
like-
travel for 10 days. Oh, shit.
It'd be great if it like.
Anyway, where were we?
No,
Where were we?
Jess is saying something, Simon.
It's not like I was gonna say it'd be great if it like multiplied. So like you'd always be playing. It's like dawn
Yeah.
or sun or
What, it's
whatever
like-
every day.
Like a D&D roguelike, like Generations.
Yeah.
I'm June, daughter of May.
Yeah.
I'm July, daughter of June.
No, yeah. To be honest, I always thought it was just stories. But then it seems strange for him to bring it up. But I suppose it's because we don't see very many people like you.
No, well, we do not usually fly far from home, and we do not usually live much past 30, which is a ripe old age. I don't know why we would want to, but it does limit the ability to travel that far.
So
Or to
wait,
build up a name for yourself.
so you're younger than 30?
well, yes, of course. Otherwise, I would be dead.
Oh, that's totally put you into a different perspective. I suppose it also explains the childlike quality of you.
I do not know what you mean.
It's fine. Flint, buddy, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Could you go and make sure that he doesn't fall overboard?
That is okay. We will make sure he is okay. But you must let me tell you the tale of Widow Feather at some point. It is a good story.
Well, we've got some time now.
No, I think it's better.
Make up this story that I forced on you, Simon. Do it.
No, I couldn't possibly.
Yes,
Bad luck to start to tell a story at night.
Okay,
perhaps another time.
so Selig goes over and Flint, what's your current positioning?
I'm going wherever anyone who's caring for me is steering.
There's no one. There's literally us.
I go over and I grab you underneath the arms from what I'm assuming is like your prone position on the deck, and hoist you up and flop you forward over the back rail.
Oh, you're gonna throw me overboard.
Only if you'll get sick on me.
Okay.
Rub and pat your back as I turn around to Elsie. So the tale of Widow Feather is it's a short tale, but it is very poignant to my people. You see, as I have told you before, we are very focused on protecting our own, and in particular, protecting ourselves and our homes from the Green Dragons. The Green Dragons as a race had been persecuting us for years, and they had almost wiped us to extinction. And so we trained, and we got better at hunting them right back. And Widow Feather was one of our finest hunters. She would fly the furthest and fly the highest in pursuit of the dragons that tried to attack our home. And then one day, a terrible green dragon, faster than any that she had come across before, came swooping from below the trees up the mountain slope towards the tribe. If it had got close enough, it would have burned the village down in one fell swoop. But Widow Feather saw it coming, and so she flew straight at it, spear raised, and the dragon, knowing of her prowess, turned and fled. But Widow Feather was not one to let prey get away. So, against the shouted advice of the tribe and the elders to let it go, she followed after it. Now, when I say burn things, I mean metaphorically, of course. I mean, let's edit that in later, Mike. It is a folktale. I know green dragons do not usually have fire, but as children, it scared us quite a lot, you see. You do not like to think of burning. Widow Feather pursued this dragon all the way over the forest, all the way past the plains beyond, and out over the coast. The dragon just kept going, and it did not seem to tire. But Widow Feather was starting to lose her breath. But she stirred herself and pursued, out further over the waves, out into the open ocean. And it was only when she had been flying after this creature for over an hour that she truly realized how tired she was. So she thought, I will swallow my pride, and I will turn around and go home. But it was too late. Turn around she did, but she could not see any coastline, no land, nowhere safe to rest herself. And so despite her efforts, she fell into the waves and was never seen again. It's a good story, but it's only there to warn us not to get lost with our ambitions and our pursuits. That is all. I do not know where your father has got this notion of piracy from, but it is quite outlandish.
Well, it would definitely tell a point to young Kathryn about not flying too far or not going somewhere without a plan, I guess.
And you would think I would have heeded its warning more, yet here I am, miles and miles from home, and not even a green dragon in sight.
Imitate a dragon trying to be funny.
Oh. Ha!
Well, I got a sympathy laugh. That's better than nothing.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'll be better when we get Maude. Hope she's okay.
I'm sorry, I was talking to Flint. I said, how are you doing, Flint?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine too.
To be fair to Adam, I think your mic muffled at the moment that
Yeah.
you said Flint, Simon, so it's not that weird that
like
he
it.
didn't know.
I liked it as quite a good character moment.
Okay, so the voyage continues. Erallur, are you doing anything, or are you just hanging out in your hammock?
I mean, I don't know that everyone's all hanging out together. So
Yeah.
You weren't invited.
no, I wasn't. Only when you thought I could pay for something. So I'll just stay here with all my money.
You have a nice quiet time. You notice that you're getting a little bit paler because you're out of the sun, and maybe occasionally you might need to go out and get some fresh air because it's not the nicest smelling cabin right down in the bowels of the ship. But so the voyage continues, and eventually you do see the sight of Neverwinter on the horizon as your father, Elsie, cries, "Land ho!
About time too.
I've missed you too, Elsie."
To give you your dues, we've not sunk, so
Aye, but that's mainly because of you and your fine folk helping.
yeah, to be honest, I think if Flint wasn't here, I think we would probably be dead.
Most likely. Most likely. Although I've survived worse.
Well, you have. She's downstairs.
Don't you speak that way about your mother. You know what a tough time she's been going through.
Well, it's not just her that's gone through it.
Aye, but everybody deals with it different. You can
Yeah.
say what you like about me, but not her, else, not her.
Well, maybe when she's better, I'll consider it.
All right. I long for that day too. Right, we best get prepared. We've got docking fees to pay, and I still haven't got more money from your friends. I hope you appreciate that I didn't try to rob any of them.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know what you do while I'm asleep. So,
Well, I just told you I didn't rob them this time.
yes.
It's a first, genuinely.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciated enough to pay the docking fee.
Well, we'll see. We may get lucky. Jimmy may be there.
I don't have the docking fee.
Yeah, I got that as much, Dad.
So someone's going to pay it. Otherwise, the crime families are going to impound our ship again.
Do you not have the 70 gold that Flint gave him?
Shush, you're not there. Backseat money laundering.
Somehow he spent it on the sea.
He just gambles it away. No, well, we've got to get there first. Let's get there, and like I said, I've got a couple of connections in Neverwinter.
Oh,
We'll see.
moving up in the world, are you? You know that's not allowed.
What?
Becoming respectable.
Who
Your
said anything?
mother would never take to it.
Who said anything about being respectable?
Well, you've got connections, you said.
Yeah. I
Are
slept,
they
with,
criminal connections?
I slept with a guy called Jimmy, and he said the next time that I come, if he's working on their docks, he'll let me dock for free.
Jimmy says that to everybody. He said it to me once. What?
Can we just dock now?
All right. Don't know why you don't want to talk about your father's sexual exploits, but never mind. So you continue the journey in and eventually come to a dock and are signalled down to a wharf where the ship can be roped up. You see an official come towards you with some papers and a quill, and they are dressed in black livery with a doublet and slashed sleeves and breeches that fall just to below the knee over socks and buckled boots. And they come over and say, "Hail and welcome to Neverwinter. What is your mission and how long will you be staying?"
We are returning to collect some crew and probably will be here for no longer than 2 nights.
Ah, wonderful. So 2 nights. And Elsie, you notice that as they are looking down the list, they're glancing around quite a lot and then go, right. So that'll be 10 gold then for the berth.
Everything all right there?
Yes. Why?
Just seeming a little bit fidgety.
Well, it's just my manner, I'm afraid. Clerks and that.
I don't believe him.
Roll an insight check.
I shall take that. 24.
Yeah, now you look at him again, you notice that the doublet is a little bit stained, a little bit tatty, and you just peer over at the notes. There's nothing written down on them.
I've been in your shoes before. Off you go.
My shoes? I think they're a little bit big for you, dear.
We shall wait until a proper official arrives.
Well, you can't blame a guy for trying, I suppose. Have a good one. And just starts to walk away.
Look after yourself.
It was a worthy try. Didn't know who he was dealing with, though, did he?
Right, like I said, I've done that before myself.
I think your mother taught you that one, didn't she?
She did indeed. First thing she ever taught me.
Yes, before even your own name.
Mm-hmm.
Right, should we find a real official, just to make sure?
Well, I'm going to let my lot go and do what they need to do, and you can stay here and look after the ship.
All right. Still going to need that fee, though.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Well, but I need to pay it almost immediately.
Yeah, well, you've got the 70 gold that Flint paid you.
Shit. I thought you'd forgotten that.
No.
All right, fine. But you owe me, Elsie. By Davy Jones, you owe me.
I think you owe me for, my entire life, so...
Oh, don't pull that I didn't ask to be born bullshit on me.
Well, I didn't ask to be born.
Oh, she's done it. She actually did it. I didn't think she would.
What can I say? You just led me down that merry path.
I'll be off with you then. Go and get your sister.
Yes. Friends?
I'll join.
Yes.
Okay, so you come out on deck and you notice that there is another person walking towards you down the wharf. This one looking more well-to-do, and they have a book with them with heavy seals that hang from the pages. This looks like much more official. They have a dark hair, receding hairline, and carry a few cuts of scars across their cheeks and jowls. Middle-aged and slightly cool-looking eyes, icy blue, and have a slightly tilted up nose, as if there's something unpleasant that smells nearby. The other distinguishing thing about them is that one of the arms of their jacket is actually pinned against their side because they are missing one arm. And they walk up and say, "Right, so who is going to be paying the fee?"
The gentleman with the big hat.
"Right. And you would be the captain, would you?" "I would indeed. As my daughter says, I will be paying the fee." Fuck you, Elsie.
Bye!
As you walk past, Erallur, can you make a perception check for me, please? Flint, could you make a perception check for me, please?
Oh, it's
Juniper,
not just me.
could you make a perception check?
Oh,
Just
6.
What kind of perception check?
This would be a spot. And a listen, I suppose, actually.
23.
15. Okay.
Yeah. And I rolled a 4.
Wow.
What?
I was 11.
Juniper, there's something about the cadence of that voice that's familiar to you. Erallur, you do a double take as you recognize your father standing on the dock. And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode. Thank you for playing. Thank you very much for listening. Like, subscribe, give us a review, all that good stuff. Everybody wants to say bye, say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Look after yourself, landlubbers.
Why is that not Elsie's accent?
Because I can't do accents. We know this.